Diagnoses. Diagnosis is the first step on a fundraising plan. This is the moment to raise the partnership backgrounds and how the fundraising in your organization has been doing in the late years. Time to go through outcomes, the hits, the struggle to set the best strategy for the coming years, and to build an action plan to raise funds for our organization. How is your organization doing right now? The diagnosis will help you. 1. To get to know your organization better. 2. To know how you are seen by the community, those who praises your organization. 3. To sort out who your partners and donors have been. 4. To understand your budget by project and what financing resources have supported you to collect your funds and what strategic plan has been set to appraise such resources. The diagnosis is the photograph on how the fundraising in your institution has been. A good diagnosis will help you 1. To enlighten the current situation of your organization towards the sustainability and fundraising. 2. To detect the strengths and weaknesses to be developed in the internal and external of your organization. 3. To give some advice on how to improve the fundraising of those financing sources and what techniques to be applied and how to improve them for the next plan. Let's go to actual examples which might help you. Review the records and organizational background. Follow the example. We detect the partners and we match them to the donations coming for the last 4 years. And in doing so, we will be able to check some issues, as for example, donors who have cut down their contributions lately. Check documents such as statute, certifications, balance sheets, activity reports, funds data reports. For the analysis on a record, a spreadsheet must be done showing every status and observations on every issue analyzed. For example, PAN, education, skills developments to youngsters on a low-income term. Today they aim to raise funds to set up a social business, a sustainable one that provides resources to the many activities in the organization. In a study done, it was observed that the statute was outdated, not meeting the current needs, and limiting some activities such as commercializing products and services. Let's see now some important analysis. See similar organizations. Do a survey on main institutions and or projects which holds the same cause as your institution does, or the ones which have the same target customers to get tips on their projects and see the way they work out their fundraising. Observe this possible comparing spreadsheet. We have listed the institutions, its target audience, their projects and target fundraising. A good way to survey its similar organization is by doing a benchmark analysis, which is a point of reference to which products, services, and practices can be measured. A good comparative study allows to praise and survey the best practices, learn skills and developing methods, to set indications, to improve techniques and organizational changes. Example of a reference analysis in hospital. 1. About location. It is important to know what action plans similar hospitals in your field around the world are doing to raise funds. 2. About approach. It is inspiring to know various ways to ask for donations, ways to invite partners, to promote events. See this case below. Here, a graph offers many ways to contribute, such as sponsors, Sign Up and Smile program, award donation campaign. In this other example, the Hospital of Cancer of Barretos shows a very nice way displayed in its logo for campaign, which is a heart. When clicking on the heart, you will see a page with many sorts of ways you can make your donations. 3. About obtaining revenues coming from the commercialization of products and services. There are many reasons in which your organization decides to set a strategic plan to obtain revenues. Branded product sales and services to please your target customer. B. Product sales and services to obtain revenues to your own organization that will enable you to finance your own projects. C. Fully support to your target customer. Here goes 3 examples of fundraising on revenues obtained. The company Sol sells solar plates for showers to low-income communities. B. McDonald's, with its partner Ronald McDonald's Institute, promotes a yearly event selling Big Macs in the cause of children with cancer. All money collected goes to the social matters of the Institute. C. OCA provides handcraft courses to the mothers of youngsters assisted on the project to obtain revenues to help these mothers. They also train youngsters to perform as teachers, obtaining resources for their students. See the example of benchmark action in a hospital of children with cancer. 1. Trace a raise strategic plan which can bring you diversified opportunities and ways to access different donors' profiles. 2. Site with full information on how to donate, benefits, amounts. 3. Matching gifts campaign. 4. Saving funds, compulsory taxes returned to the funds. 5. Creation and appraisal for donations, invitation to participate in any triumph event. 6. Get resources through international entities. 7. Various events, gala events, sport events, sponsored ones under selling invitations, polo, golf, race, and others. Analyze the activities. Watch that good analysis must contain, besides the activity, the partners, the description, and the target audience you mean to achieve, and the goal. At this point, it is of extreme relevance to make a map of the assets which organization can reach in the communities, bringing up the following aspects. What resources does your organization carry? How can they be shared among other organizations? What resources does the other partner organization carry? How can we share those resources? How to raise together the missing resources we don't have? Observation: in case you want to learn more about asset graphs, you can check your video tag and exclusively issue about this subject, www.captamos.org.br. The next activity on the Diagnosis is to survey and learn. Who knows your organization? What does the community think about the work of the institution? An interview can be a way to raise information on this issue with people linked to the institution, such as directors, partners, customers, neighbors, among others. Observation: an interview proves to be a very relevant issue, and because of this we carry a video on the subject in our video tag, www.captamos.org.br. The next step is to track and analyze the background of your partnerships. As to that, ask the questions such as: who have your partners been? Learn your donors' backgrounds. See on this example, a planning was made in which you will be able to compare and check the evolution on your partners along the latest years. The importance here is to understand the reason why of each of those variations. For example, I wonder what has been done on the year 4 regarding small donors and what brought such a significant increase. Depending on what resulted, it would be a good idea to follow the same strategy again. I wonder what is going on regarding the family-wide relationship with the organization, that they cut down on donations figures from the years 2, 3, 4 to this date. Would it be possible to regain or to warm this relationship again? It is wise to understand the kind of relationship it is, if it's a donation, a personal issue, a service provided. At last, time to analyze. How has your fundraising been performing? Track and analyze your action on fundraising. Check your revenues and expenses. It is important to have a comparative graphs to check the figures evolution. This comparison should be made on the last 3 years basis at least. Check every source of your resources. A study on the background of the income helps you to know where the main income comes from, and this will guide you to future jobs. It also helps to know which resource has donated the most to your organization. Another relevant analysis is the percentage on the participation of each of your sources' revenues. We recommend you not to focus too much on a determined source, turning your organization into vulnerable to on and off partners. We would like to highlight that a good diagnosis can help you find out that marketing strategies related to a cause to raise with the companies have brought good results at first instance. But in the long-term basis, the enterprises stopped contributing in spite their names being still involved on material and institution campaigns. Events such as bazaar, charities, and charity dinner parties are also well-succeeded techniques to fundraise as individuals in the community. However, the costs to support such events are very high. The conclusion to a good diagnosis must bring a list of recommendations and tips to elaborate a future action plan. For being a photograph of the fundraising, the diagnosis brings some vital information on the past and current moment of the institution. Then, keep all documented. Remember, you can consult more material and tips on our site www.captamos.org.br or www.4steps.com.br.